Hey everybody, welcome to week 9. Let me share my screen real quickly here and start with the week 9 overview. So obviously this is the week 9 overview video, which will be here. And we are going back to the textbook this week. Yay! Finally you get to use the thing that you spent money on. We're going back to chapter 4, reading Straub's really responding to other students' writing. So the thing I want you to keep in mind, since we're doing peer review this week, and that's due on the 10th, Thursday the 10th, I want you to read through Straub's comments and really start to think about how you can best respond to your classmate. These peer revisions are assigned randomly, so you're always working with a different student's writing. But I really want you to respond in a way that will be constructive so that your peer can take your feedback and hopefully incorporate that into the revision. I think Straub has a lot of great things to say. And we're also in the revision period. You've done your rough drafts. You're doing your peer revisions, but you're also working on your own revisions, right? So you're going to take the comments that I provide and that your peer reviewer provides, and you'll start to think about how you can improve your writing, how you can improve your essay. So I have a handout from Donald Murray. Donald Murray is one of my favorite rhetoric scholars. He's right up there with Anne Berthoff. So I'm glad that I actually came across this article and can make it available for you. And this is called Making Meaning Clear, the Logic of Revision. It's probably 7 to 8 pages, 7 to 8, not 78, 7 to 8 pages long, not very long, very accessible writing. Murray writes in a style that is just really fantastic. He's easy to understand, and he has a lot of great things to say about revision. So those are the 2 readings for this week. Your to-do list is to watch this video, which you're doing, read Straub, read Murray, review the peer review guidelines and questions that I provided for you back in week 4. I have a link here. You can click on the link and that will take you back to the page. I haven't copied over that page into this unit. It's just easier to link back to the original page if you need to remember how to provide peer feedback, where you find it in your document, that kind of stuff. So remember to read your peers' writer's memo. We had the writer's memo that was assigned last week as a part of the rough draft. It was also an additional journal assignment. Since you don't get points for the rough draft, I wanted to make sure that you got points for doing this additional writing, this additional thinking. So make sure to read your peers' writer's memo, which should be attached to their rough draft. If it's not attached to their rough draft, that's on them. That's not on you as a reviewer. Just read their draft and do the peer review, which is due Thursday the 10th at the end of the day. And then lastly, your genre analysis revision, which is due Sunday the 13th. So let's go through the pages here. Here is the handout from Donald Murray. It'll pop up in a minute. There we go. I also have a checklist that's kind of a summary of Murray's writing. These are all the questions that he asks of himself when he's going through revision. So I have a downloadable version, but we also have the page here. And Murray, his underlying principles for revision are to build on strength, cut what can be cut, that simplicity is best, and that the writing will tell you how to write. And that's a little bit cryptic. But if you read his article, you'll actually begin to understand. So there are 3 areas that he looks at when he is thinking about revision. He has focus, and then there's a list of questions here. Form, again, a list of questions, probably about 8 to 10 questions. And then voice. Voice is a little bit longer, but that is really trying to make sure that you are saying the things that you really want to say in the way that you want to say them based on your intended audience, right? So these are things to think about. So the list of questions, as I note here, should not be asked in its entirety for each and every revision project, right? But it should serve as a means of the multiple things to think about when you revise your writing. And in combination with the various revision strategies that I've presented in class earlier, this will help to make your writing strong, concise, and meaningful. And then here we have the citation material at the end. And you can actually click on the link and go to the original online version if you're wanting to do that. And actually, this links to the Journal of Basic Writing, which has tons, I mean, that's a fantastic archive of people writing about writing, which is just fantastic. So if you're interested in that, go for it. Lastly, we have the submission page for the genre analysis final revision. Again, it's just a copy of the instructions for the assignment, which you should be familiar with, having already done your rough draft. The essay must be at least 5 full pages in length, plus an additional works cited bibliography or references page if you cite any of the outside material. Of course, you have 2 documents, so those should be cited. And I'm trying to think if there was something else I wanted to say. Yeah, those documents should be cited, which a lot of you have done when you handed in your samples. And if you use any additional outside sources, anything from the things that we've been reading that you want to pull in, make sure that you cite those as well. So you will have at least 2 things that you're going to be citing since you are talking about those samples in your genre comparison. Remember, it's a 2-part thing. You are not only thinking about the genre itself, but you're also doing a rhetorical analysis. Again, there are questions up here to help you frame your writing. And I do have a rubric. I told you that I would get the rubric up sometime during the week for the rough draft. So that rubric was up for the rough draft, and now we have the points attached. And you will see that there are 5 areas. I'm looking at your introduction, the way you do the rhetorical analysis, the genre analysis, how your paper is organized, and then your conclusion. And each of those areas are worth 20 points each. With, you know, it's 20, 15, 10, 5, or 0, but of course I'm always going to grade somewhere in between, not just on these points. I will add extra points if I think you're almost there, but not quite at 20 points. You know, if you get 20 points for everything, it's really a pretty flawless paper, but that is sometimes quite rare. So I think that is it for the week 9 module. Fantastic thing is week 10, there won't be any work, so there won't be any videos either. If you need week 10 spring break, if you're not going anywhere, if you're not going to do anything fun, but you need that week to kind of play catch up, that is a fantastic time to get in any of those past due assignments that you may have been missing. Remember, even though there's a 0 in the grade book, if you reach out to me and say, hey, I'd really like to submit this assignment, you can still submit it. And I will take a look at it and grade it, at least give you partial credit, if not full credit. You know, I want you to be successful in this class. I know a lot of you are seniors, and this is your last English class that you probably are hopefully never going to take again. So I want you to be successful, and I want you to learn things, and I will give you opportunities to be successful. So that is it. March 13th is the day for the final revision, and don't forget peer review, which is Thursday the 10th. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. Have a fantastic week and have a great spring break. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.